Oh, yeah. We're live for 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an stspod.club production. Welcome to the second episode. That's right. I'm a longtime producer of The Record Store, and each show on this podcast will feature a guest that will bring to me their first album they ever bought. We will review it, talk about it, have some fun. Today's guest is bringing us back to the first album they ever bought, and trust me, it is a good one. Welcome to the show. 5-minute time limits. You're one of the regulars, so I'll put you over on that. 5-minute time limits. Scotty Wentz. How's it going, Scotty?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Here on a Monday afternoon. Excited about putting this one out because I reached out to you and you sent me your first album and I was like, oh yeah. So I bought that real quick before you tell everybody. I bought this when it came out in 1989. I was in college and I bought it at Sam Goody here in Jonesboro at the mall. And the funniest thing about that was there was a guy that worked there that was bald-headed, but he let his hair grow all the way real long in the back, and he would bring the hair up to the top of his head and crimp it.
What the hell?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I should have done it. You know, that should have been my gimmick.
Man.
So
that puts a holding man into a skullet, don't it?
Oh, man, it was bad. It was bad. But tell everybody what you brought to the show.
Well, today we're going to be listening to Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood. This was actually a Christmas present that my mom gave to me when I was 10 years old. I don't know why.
Oh, that's going to be good because we'll be able to talk about it. Now, so I usually ask this since it's the second episode. I always ask this question. But what was it? Was it cassette, CD, album? What was it?
Oh, it was a tape. It was definitely
a cassette. All right. So we got a cassette. Mama bought it. I got this on CD. But I have split it up. I looked up what the actual album would be. So we'll talk about side one, go to commercial break, come back with halftime. And halftime on this is just I throw out 10 crazy facts about this album. That's always fun that I learn on the internet. And then we'll close it up and go to Patreon. And we've got the Duchess to introduce the Patreon segment, so it'll be fun. Let's get started here. So you got it for your 10th birthday?
No, Christmas. I was 10
Christmas.
years old. Yeah. So I think it was in 1990 when I actually got it.
And did you play it on that? What kind of cassette player did you have?
I had a little Walkman.
Oh,
because they would give me music, but they never wanted to hear it. So it was here, you go do this over here, so I got to hear your crap. I'm thinking, right. How's it my crap?
I forget about that. I forget that we had when it came to cassettes, we had Walkman because my main cassettes at first was on this dual cassette thing because I'm going to borrow my cassettes when my buddies come over. And I'm going to copy their cassettes. That's what I did. But I had 2 cassette players with an album, with a record player, and I think it was all a radio, AM, FM radio together. But this was a CD. I had a huge CD collection during my college years. And this was one of those CDs we went and bought. We knew, already a Motley Crue fan. They got a new album coming out, and Sam Goody was, always good about telling you this is what's coming out. Be sure you come in and get this. They had some little flyer or something that they would give out to you, and you would be able to know what the albums was. And this was one of those that I bought, if I remember correctly, I bought without seeing anything on MTV or anything like that.
Yeah.
And was this just your intro to? I mean, you didn't run around and say "Buy me Motley Crue," did you?
No. My actual intro to music was, I say I was about 5 or 6 years old. My mom, she had records and she listened to a bunch of, just different genres of music and what have you. And I remember the first memory I have of actual music was my mom had the Billy Squier album. Had the song "Everybody Wants You." Apparently, that was the only song that I liked on the whole thing. So every time my mom couldn't find me, she'd go find her record player, and I'd be in there playing that same song.
Oh, that's funny. I remember, I told everyone I wasn't going to mention my favorite or my first album until I brought somebody on that had the same first album. But I remember my mom, one of the albums she had was one of those K-Tel albums. And it wasn't the real people singing everything. Back then, you could license I don't know if they still do that, but you could license all the songs, and then you could pay a band to come in the studio and record all the bootleg songs. So it would be brought to you by K-Tel, and you would have all the brand new songs. But after you look at the sleeve or the back of the album, it would say performed by, and it wasn't the real people. So it was really strange, but they quit doing that. I know they put albums together like that now, but there's usually, the real people.
Right.
All right.
I'm just trying to figure out how you going to make money off a record that ain't even sung by the real people.
I think my mom bought 2 or 3 of them. I think the idea was that they just didn't make a big deal about it wasn't the real people. It wasn't like they were lying. It was just like they just didn't tell you kind of thing.
Wow. It's kind of like them people that bought the Pan Flute CD back in the 90s.
Yes, exactly. All right, we're going to do the first side real quick here. So the first side was only 4 songs.
Yep.
Before you flipped the album over and played the last 7 songs. It started out with TNT, that was the little instrumental, right?
Yes, it's an intro, and if you listen to it hard enough, the EMT's recording or relaying back some kind of OD that they're taking care of.
And this, I can't talk. I found this was a little, the woman saying, it says, "Dr. Davis, telephone, please." It says it's also a sample that was used by Queensryche in 1988 for their "Eyes of a Stranger." So that I thought that was weird that they used the sound drop from another album.
Yeah.
The first real song is Dr. Feelgood. What do you think? What do you remember about this song?
Well, as a kid, I had no idea they were talking about drugs. I thought they were talking about an actual doctor that they thought was a really good doctor that they were telling everybody, "Hey, go see your doctor." And yeah, no, I was very naive, so I didn't understand, but I did like this song.
Man, it just, when you put it back on, you hear that little bit of an intro, and this just kicks in. I'll put the link to YouTube. We don't play any music on this because we don't want to get a strike. We're not even going to play it on the Patreon. We have fun on Patreon. But there will be a link to YouTube with the one I listen to. But to me, it's like, I don't know. I know it's the title track, but man, they just kick it in right there. And everything I want to make mention, and whether it means anything to anyone else, but Bob Rock was the one that produced this. He produced a hell of a lot of albums for a hell of a lot of people, including Metallica. But they went into the studio and made something real, I don't know, smooth. It was different. It wasn't as raw as the other Motley Crue albums.
Right.
And you can hear it from the first lick of Dr. Feelgood.
It's well produced.
Well produced. It sounds so good. Even to the day, it's just so smooth.
Mm-hmm. It's a very clean intro.
Yes. All right. So the second real song on here, third track, is, and Scotty, you'll have to fill me in here, but "A Slice of Your Pie." What are they talking about here?
Well, as a kid, I thought they were talking about a really good waitress they encountered on the interstate driving back and forth from their shows. I didn't realize they were talking about, a hooker. But I do have to say, as a kid, I didn't like the song. I listened to it because I listened to the whole thing again last night because I took, 2.5 pages of notes.
All right, cool.
It wasn't as bad as I remembered, but it was still kind of, it was a little cheesy for, them supposed to be in a hard rock band.
Right. But didn't all that's the thing about these, the hair metal is what it kind of was back
Yes.
then.
Glam bands.
Yeah, you had to have one song that they have more than one song, I think. But one song that have you seen the Netflix documentary on this band? Go ahead if you haven't. But they got to have one song about Poontang, right? At least one.
Yes. Or 5, whatever floats your boat.
1, 5, does it really matter? Though, we just want everybody to know we get the snooch every day. So we look good and they're giving it to us. Yeah.
Even though we look like girls, we do like girls.
All right, the next track before we go to the second side was Rattlesnake Shake. What's your thoughts on this song? I mean, I think it's got a good beat and it's fun, but to me, it just don't feel like the album.
No, not really. The guitar riffs are good. The song could have had better lyrics. It was the repeating over and over was just kind of blah. Now, random fact about this song, in 1969, Fleetwood Mac had a song. They wrote the song. The song's actually an ode to masturbation with a reference to Mick Fleetwood. And Peter Green is miles better than Vince Neil.
Oh, wow. I got some facts there at halftime, but man, I didn't get that one out. So that's kind of gross right now because Mick Fleetwood, yeah. But if they Fleetwood Mac told me they wanted me to put a song of theirs on my album, I guess I got to do it right. I mean, it's a big deal. So, so here I asked these two are my first guests, the Dutches. So your mom bought it on Christmas. Yeah, any thoughts on what was happening? You're 10 years old, but what was happening in your life during this time with your friends, your school, family, whatever?
Well, the one thing I remember about this is after I got this tape, I want to say it was a couple weeks later, my uncle needed help cleaning his place up down. I want to say he lived around Brinkley, around that area or whatever. And so him and my aunt had actually come up to pick me up and take me down there for, I think it was the winter break because it was like 2 weeks at the time. So I was going down there to help them out, and I had my Walkman. I was in the back seat, and my Aunt Kay asked me, she's like, "What are you listening to?" And so I told her because I didn't see anything wrong with it. There's no big deal. My mom bought it for me. Hey, let's have at it. So she gets this pained look on her face, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Let me see the sleeve." And so she pulls out the sleeve and starts reading the lyrics. I swear to you, the whole ride from Jonesboro to Brinkley, all I got was a lecture on how the lyrics were just demonic and talking about sexualization and you're too young for this stuff. And I was finally like, bro, I didn't buy it. Why are you mad at me?
I didn't buy it. And that's the same thing with Duchess. Her mom bought Grease bought the Grease soundtrack when she was 8. And then after you go back and listen to the songs, there's some songs on there where you go, oh, but yeah, this was, in this band, you being 10 years old, this band was very, very, I don't know. Everybody knew that, I had mentioned earlier, but they, the women were going crazy about them. That it's all about sex when it comes to these guys, and you just kind of knew that. So
yeah, sex and not taking a shower. Apparently, if you watch
apparently, yeah. Well, that's a common thing for bands. They say Gene Simmons never took a shower either. So
that's disgusting.
Scotty, you need to at least take a shower and change your underwear at least twice a week, whether you need it or not, okay?
Shit. I do it twice a day. What are you talking about?
There's a pamphlet that one of my buddies, Matthew Mullins, I don't know if you knew him.
Yes, Wolfie.
He found a documentation of something that they would give the kids in kindergarten and first grade. And it was like, brush your teeth, blah, blah, blah. But there was a picture of some little kid running around with his underwear. It was a cartoon, but it said underneath the cartoon, please change your underwear at least twice a week. It was from the 50s or the 40s or 50s. All right. So before we go to halftime, Do you feel like when you tell people this was your first, because you got on Facebook yesterday and promoted this and said, "Hey, I'm gonna sit down with BT to record." Did you? We didn't mention what the album was going to be, but does you have a cool feeling about your mom buying this? She said, "Man, I was cool by getting this," or do you feel like, "Oh, I shouldn't have got it"? And you have kind of a guilty pleasure there, or is it just a guilty pleasure overall? I mean, does it bother you to tell people, "Hey, I listen to Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood"?
Yes and no. I mean, honestly, I'd rather had a Van Halen tape as a kid, but it wasn't. It was a Christmas present, so I really couldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. I was just happy to have something to listen to other than the sound of wind when I was outside.
All right. That's fair. That's a fair answer. I don't know. Shout Out to Devil when it comes to Motley Crue is to me my favorite Motley Crue album. And it represents what kind of raw, it was just so raw. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
Same thing, with some of the early Skid Row stuff, but I was a fan. I was a fan of Motley Crue, and I was a fan of hair bands, big time.
Yes.
So I was right in that. All right.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, guys, we're going to talk about 10 or 11 really fun facts about this album and this band. So stick with us. All right, back from commercial. Get ready, wrestling fans. MCW is bringing you the action like never before. Experience the high-flying moves, the bone-crushing slams, and the rivals that can only be settled inside the square ring. This is family-friendly live professional wrestling at its very best. Don't just hear about it. Be there when the superstars of MCW. Get ready, wrestling fans. MCW is bringing you the action like never before. Experience the high-flying moves, the bone-crushing slams, and the rivals that can only be settled inside the square ring. This is family-friendly live professional wrestling at its very best. Don't just hear about it. Be there when the superstars of MCW collide in unforgettable matches you'll talk about for weeks. Tickets are affordable. The action's nonstop, and the excitement is guaranteed. MCW Wrestling, where the future of wrestling happens now. Be there.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live. Next Thursday, October 2nd, Memphis Wrestling returns to the Mid-South Fair at Landers Center, who will be crowned King of the Fair. Sunday, October 12th, don't miss our annual Halloween Spooktacular featuring Vicky Guerrero. Saturday, October 18th, grab your costume and bring the kids to Memphis Wrestling Truck or Treat at the Wrestle Center. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
So, and Scotty, it's time for... It's halftime. That's right. It's halftime. I got 10 or 11 facts. Number one, I want to show you this. You saw a little glimpse of it, but I want to show you this real quick. This is just super cool to me. For the 20th anniversary of the album, Nikki Sixx went in and actually created a shoe. Nike made the shoe, as you can tell, it's got the swoosh on it. But this was for the anniversary of this album here that we got. And when I first saw it, I said, damn, them shoes are ugly. But if you look at it, it is all the colors of the album cover. So that's kind of pretty cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I thought they were Grinch shoes there for a second.
And so some other facts. This was, we said already, produced by Bob Rock, who also produced a bunch of other stuff. It's their best-selling album. which that kind of surprised me. It did and it didn't. It hit #1 on the Billboard 200, which used to be a really big deal. Kiddos, if you're listening to this, it's before Spotify, and it didn't count your plays. It was all about how many albums how many songs you played and everything that you sold. Sober recording, I found this interesting. This was the first album the band recorded completely sober. All 4 members went to rehab before starting the sessions. Now, we're not going to say that they were sober on tour because we have no idea, but they were sober while they were doing the actual recording. Steven Tyler's on the album, Bryan Adams, Skid Row, Cheap Trick's Robin Zander, and Rick Nielsen. All of those guys do some background vocals or a guitar or something. The title track, Dr. Feelgood, became their highest charting single, peaking at #6 in the Hot 100. The meaning of Dr. Feelgood, it tells the story of a drug dealer who becomes rich and powerful, talking about the excesses of the 1980s. Killer Riff Slash has said that Mick Mars's guitar work on Dr. Feelgood was some of the heaviest and cleanest riffing of the era. I can't disagree with that. It's just the whole smoothness of it that I really liked.
Yeah.
We may mention a Kickstart My Heart, but is that on the second side, Kickstart My Heart?
Yes, it's song 5.
Okay, so real quick, it's about when Nikki Sixx actually was revived with adrenaline during a heroin overdose. Fun times there. Fun times.
He only had about 6 of those.
And in 1991, Dr. Feelgood earned Motley Crue their first ever Grammy nomination for Best Hard Rock Performance for the song Dr. Feelgood. So awesome. That was halftime. All right, man, that was quick for that. I don't know how to control that song. So, all right, let's go to the second side real quick. It starts out with Kickstart My Heart. We already said I like this. I like the very opening of it. Kicks in. I mean, if you're flipping the album over, there you go.
Yeah. I was never a fan of this song. I couldn't get behind it. The only thing that stands out in the song to me is the drums. And every time I hear it, I think of the Mercury Brothers.
There you go. The Skimahorns. If you're a wrestling fan, you're listening to this.
Yep.
And
even as a kid, I knew that Vince Neil couldn't sing like that forever. There's no way you could keep that high of a voice for 40, 50 years. And boy, were we right.
Oh, we were right. If you want to watch some clips, apparently Vince Neil recently, or I don't know how recent, but had suffered a stroke. So I don't know if it was before or after he starts mumbling the words to the song.
Yeah, looking like the abominable snowman out there.
Yeah, it's just it really don't matter if you're live and you're intoxicated a little bit. You're having a good time. Hey, that's Motley Crue up there. Who gives a shit? So the next track was to me. It's just like every heavy metal band had to have that ballad, right? With
right.
You like the song? Or
I've considered this more of a sappy love song than a power ballad.
Oh, truly. Yeah. It's all about, I couldn't survive I know it's the title, but I can't survive without you. I love you. Don't leave me, blah, blah, blah. Kind of thing.
I think Vince was trying to show his vocal range and trying to soften himself up a little bit. I don't think it helped. But I did realize last night that even though I don't like the song, I know almost every damn word to it, which is just annoying beyond belief.
You do, and it's funny because it's been years since I listened to this, and as soon as I was, some words I don't remember, but a lot of this is right back. Well, it's probably way back here by now, but some of it still exists. At 58, I believe that some of my earlier memories are being shoved out, and I can't find my ink pen that I put down, or I can't find my cup.
Now there was a really good guitar solo about 3 minutes and 15 seconds into this.
Right. Oh yeah. It is 80s, 90s, 80s rock is what it is when it comes to, like I said, every band seems to have this. It just real quick, he was talking about all these songs except, I guess, Rattlesnake Shake gets a credit. But you said there's an old song anyway. Let me see. Most of these songs were written by Nikki Sixx. Either Nikki Sixx or Nikki Sixx and Mars. They wrote all of them.
Wow.
So that's it's pretty talented. Where the other guys, I guess, jumped in and did something. All right, the next song, and I got a comment about this song, but same old situation. Is there any other band that when you hear this song, it reminds you of?
No, because the song is terrible. I put down, it's a nice upbeat song and it's something you could work to. But after about the first 2 minutes, I'm ready to get off this ride. It's a 5-minute song, man. It's just no.
Reminds me of Poison. If this was on Look What the Cat Drug In, if this was on that album, you wouldn't even blink. You would just say, yeah, that's a Poison song.
Yeah, pretty much. The constant grunts and yeahs and oh no's were just over the top. I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah. I just not a huge fan of the song, but I was just, when it first started playing, I honestly thought to myself, I think they got this wrong. I think this is a Poison song, and I had to go to YouTube to make sure, and then look to make sure it was the Motley Crue song.
Yeah.
Next song is Sticky Sweet. What are they talking about? They're talking about honey buns here. Is that what they're talking about?
Good question. As a kid, I probably thought it was about honey buns. Yeah. I did realize, like, the first 45 seconds of this song, I'm surprised nobody's tried to use it as a wrestling intro.
Wow, now somebody will use it.
I know. It would be decent, but it does sound like the background music for Jello Wrestling, if you know what I mean. Figured you'd get that one. That's good.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. It's another repetitive song, and it feels like it was a product of a 4-day bender. They just needed to put something out.
They were sober, man. They were sober. And I'm not going to ask you, do you know what the next song is about?
No.
She goes down. So did we understand?
I knew exactly what this was about. Even at 10, I was like, boy, that's dirty.
Even at 10 years old, you said, my God, these guys are horrible.
Even the zipper, I was like, hey, hold on a minute. I don't think we should be doing that on the radio. Now, I do say, whoever thought this was a good idea to make this a 5-minute song needs to be flogged.
Man, you're almost like me when it comes to wrestling matches. I'm a 17 to 22 minutes seems to be about all I want to watch a match. And in songs, it can change because if I'm listening to Queen or Led Zeppelin, Freebird by Leonard Skinner, all really, really long songs, and I really like because Led Zeppelin has a lot of long songs, but Queen songs, for some reason I can listen to the long versions of those songs, but I could get where this song is just okay, we get it. She's giving you a blowjob. We get it.
Yes. And there's nothing worse than a crappy song with a breakdown 3.5 minutes into it. And you still got a minute and a half to finish.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Yes.
The next to the last song is and I love this song, not because of actually the song, but just what the title. Don't go away mad, just go away. In other words, just get the fuck out of here. We don't want to see you anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean,
this is actually my favorite song on the whole. I was
going to ask you that, but really, that is a great song. And it's one of those things where if anyone repeats anything from this album, it's probably that song. You probably see memes. You probably seen all kinds of stuff from that song. So
yes. And the music video was pretty awesome too.
Oh yeah,
I got a kick out of the black and white. That was.
Oh
good.
my God, they had music videos back then. Yeah, I think songs. I have talked about that I think they, when you talk about wrestling, that Meltzer kind of melted me, not melted, but kind of made me not like Dusty Rhodes and Hulk Hogan. I had problems with some videos where the video would come on and I'd be like, oh, I hate this song. But it wasn't. It really was like the B-52s. Love Shack. I hated that song. But I love it now. I do.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
the song Sweet Dreams by the Rhythmics. Hated the video. Love the song now. But there's a lot of songs like that where probably if I would have not seen the video, I might have liked the song. I did not do any research on this. I don't know who Donna McDaniel is, and I should have, but her and Nikki Sixx wrote the last track of this album. And I'm going to tell you, I don't remember this song, Time for Change. I don't remember it at all. I didn't even know it was on the album. And I'm thinking to myself that when the song came on, I would just go back to track 2 and start listening to Dr. Feelgood again.
Yeah. Yeah. This is another song that didn't have to be 5 minutes. I'll tell you that much. It also felt like they could have used this song as a background for a telethon for starving kids or war-torn countries. Especially the
yeah, you probably
right
would,
there in the middle.
Feed children. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some quick.
Yeah, the guitar solo at 2:30 was decent.
Yeah.
If they'd have stopped the song at 3 minutes, it would have been better.
There you go. That 5-minute song. Scotty hates you if you put out a 5-minute song.
Just get in and get out. Come on, let's do this and get going.
All right. Let's get some. Yeah, that's probably what they thought too. Let's get some really quick questions. What was the first track you played over and over and over? Do you remember?
I'd have probably started with Dr. Feelgood, and then once I went through the whole record or album once or twice, it would probably been number 10.
Don't go. Yeah, like you
don't
said.
Go away, Mad. Just go away. Because like I said, it was a favorite. The guitar solo was good, and anybody who's heard the song more than once, you try to whistle like that at the end, and every time I did it, I always end up with wet fingers. So I couldn't do it. I tried.
I know you didn't like the song, but my 2 favorite songs are, number 1, I probably played Dr. Feelgood more than it, but was Kickstart My Heart. So I remember playing that over and over. Looking back at the album, does it still hold up for you? Do you still like the album?
Yes and no. Parts. They could have done better with it, but I guess for their first time doing a sober album, that was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I mean,
what is this?
I'm still a big fan of Theater of Pain. I like the Theater of Pain album. It's good. It's raw. You can tell they're young. Smoking in the Boys' Room is still probably my favorite Motley Crue song.
Good album. Like I said, I'll go back to Shout At the Devil. I think it was just when it with me, it's just the rebellion of it, because we were told at a young age, the church sponsored something where this guy came and talked to us about the evil music. And when he said when he referred to Leonard Skinner as a guy, he said that guy, Leonard Skinner, is a devil worshiper too. Then that's when I said, this guy's full of shit. And this was at 16 or 17 years old. So, did this album shape your future music taste? Did you keep listening to hair bands, or was this just something you just got it for Christmas? You didn't listen to anything else like that?
Yeah, I did. I did listen to hair bands. At the time, I liked just about anything, so it didn't have to be just one genre or what have you. But I listened to Motley Crue. I liked the Van Halen, and Poison was good. Whitesnake, I did like them. So my mom listened to an array of music, so it wasn't just one genre itself. But my next album,
we are influenced by our parents, and my dad was a Waylon Jennings, the Outlaw fan. I go back and listen to all that stuff. It's so fun to listen to. And then my mom was like a Fleetwood Mac, kind of pop music. And there is songs in there and albums in there that Rumors is one of those albums she had in her collection that that I can listen to today, and it kind of takes me back. But I was huge into hair bands, and you know, I hate to admit this because I'm kind of a cliche when it comes to this, but Nirvana and grunge killed hair bands, and I was one of those that helped, stab it and take it down, because as soon as I saw the Nirvana video on MTV, I ran and bought the album. So it was I did. I saw Teen Spirit, and we saw the video, me and my roommate in college, and we said, oh my God, we got to go get this. So we went and got it.
You always had that one friend. Why you listen to them girly men? Go listen to some real stuff.
Yeah. Real stuff was, why are you listening to this when you could listen to Metallica? Who was it? Megadeth. You should be listening to those bands.
Slayer.
Slayer. Yeah. You already said some memories there of going to. Did you ever see these guys in concert?
No, I have not seen these guys in concert.
I haven't seen them in concert. The only thing, my memory I shared earlier of this album had to be where I bought it and that the hair cramp going on. Best track on the album, we kind of answered that. Anything you're going to skip? Was it Kickstart Your Heart?
Yes, it would have been. It would have been that one. And let's see, Slice of Your Pie. Actually, 3, 4, and 5, I'd have probably just skipped right off the bat. I'd have rather listen to the sappy crying stuff than those 3 songs.
Right. Mine would have been the last song because, like I said, I guess I skipped it because of hell I can't remember it. Anything cringy when you listen to this? Anything you feel real cringy about?
The overt overtones in almost every single song. It's just. Now that you have, kids and grandkids, it's like, good Lord, what is wrong with people?
Yeah.
At the time, you're like, no big deal. Who cares? Yeah.
You're right. We talked about this. I bought it on CD, and you had one on cassette. Can you remember what the album that you got after this was?
That would be the Metallica Black. It was actually a tape because I still had my Walkman, and at the when I got the Metallica tape, I was actually mowing yards for side money at the time. So it took me.
Hustle.
Oh yeah, and back then, the tapes are what, $15 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was getting $5 a yard, so I had to mow 3 yards to go get the tape itself.
The cost of the cassettes, I think I'm gonna do a whole episode on this, but the only reason I got as many cassettes as I did was Columbia House. So
that
was the only way I could have bought, because cassettes, the prices not went up or down very much in X amount of years. So, okay, go ahead. Here's a fun question we asked about the Grease soundtrack, and I'm going to keep this question on here. If the album had a smell, what would it be?
Let me find it. What smell would this album have? Stale cigarettes, Jack Daniels, armpits, and dirty socks.
You had it ready. You listened to me, and you knew I was going to ask that.
Oh, bro, I did my homework.
I would go with leather and body odor. That's the smell of this album.
Leather and ass.
Final thoughts here. We got. Would you recommend this album to someone who's never heard it? And if you did recommend it, what would you tell them?
No, I would not.
Not going to recommend them.
No. I would tell them to go listen to Theater of Pain.
Oh, there you go. It's
Smoking in the boys' room at Home Sweet Home would be the first 2 you need to listen to.
Damn good song. We do not have a guest officially for next month, October, which we call Rocktober, but there'll be 2 episodes of this podcast, possibly 3, because we take the podcast feed over. The music does on Rocktober. And listen, real quick, let's let the Duchess tell us what's coming up on Patreon.
Coming up next is the Patreon portion of Hit Me With Your First Shot, B-Side Confessions, the After Dark bonus cut out of the episode. This is where the conversation goes a little deeper, a little wilder, and sometimes a little inappropriate. You've heard the main story. Now it's time for the confessions that didn't make the A-side. So pour a drink, turn the lights down, and get ready, because this track is strictly for the grown-ups.
Oh, yeah, Duchess. Oh, yeah, baby. All right. Same bad time, same bad channel.
B-side
On
confessions.
Oh, she's going to talk again. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. By the way, it's not wrestling. Best little music podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, Scotty knows this. I love my mama.